Okay, utilising events. So again, touching on an earlier point, which was having 5 or 6 revenue pots, the Atlantic started with nothing in their events business, but over the last decade have built it up year on year to a point where it now represents 20% of their overall revenues, which is a solid performance. And, you know, although the effort and intent to create 125 events a year is by no means a small feat, they've obviously done it with the future in mind, understanding that print revenues, both from subscription and advertising, would decline, and they had to fill that pot up from somewhere else. I've always felt that consumer brands could do more with their audience and community anyway, and particularly lucrative ones like Condé Nast with some of their fashion, and in this case, their wedding markets. They've actually experienced a 25% year-on-year increase in the Indian market for their wedding event business, which for anyone who's got married will know is very, very lucrative, and they've actually put their stamp down and made a good fist of it, and that year-on-year increase is probably very well received considering their print declines. Time Out, another traditional print brand, but have very successfully pivoted, and they've got a market in Lisbon, and it's a maximisation of their brand and community. I talk about it a fair bit, but the food, the drink, the experience in their halls is such a great physical use of their brand. It's one that really can't be ignored. Supporting that, they do an additional 800 events a year, huge number of attendees, big driver for for ticketing and sponsorship revenues. So again, that print brand is probably still supporting a large chunk, but they've really successfully pivoted with a couple of other innovations. On a more smaller local level, events in offices are increasingly popular. Guardian use their free podcast as a way to build an audience and then pitch, sell, market to them to come into the Guardian offices for a fee and listen to the podcasters in person. Subscribers get a priority, they get discounted access, and other magazine and newspapers will do something similar in an audience with type manner. An example here on the slide is the Boris Johnson event with Telegraph a couple of months ago. And I've actually heard the Times, as part of their subscription funnel, have identified that the final stage to absolutely reduce retention to over 90% is to get somebody to an event. So it really is for the most engaged of your users. We've also got publishers who've invited people in to meet and discuss with the editors or the journalists around a certain topic. I've seen it very well done in the States with topics around Trump and politics. That's a really great way to get subscribers feeling engaged and also literally giving them probably what they asked for. New York Times have conference calls for subscribers to dial in and listen to conversations between journalists to get inside information on hot topics and coverage. You've also got the Skim, another US brand, but I really like this, relatively new brand from what I could tell, but they've got a really diversified revenue model, obviously from the fact that they don't have a reliance on any print product from what I can tell. So they are, you know, very heavily invested in digital. They've got some great pieces of sponsored content, obviously work really hard with the brands on that. And they then have really good podcasts, and they've got a really personal, relatable feel. The end result, really, from what I can see from a revenue driver, is that's driving event participation. So I went on their website and they've got 15, 20 cities listed where the Skim team visit and hold in-person events. Pretty much all of them are sold out. And the other nice thing I saw, which was a good idea, is the journalists made a really good brand for themselves, and the editors, front and center of it. They've written books, and then at those events, which they're charging for, they then charge more to actually sell the books and additional upsell opportunities for the signings. We were at INMA last month, I think it was, in New York, and the big 3 prize winners in the events category were all around focusing on youth engagement. So Independent in South Africa won with their national high school quiz, which sounded really cool. And another good one that I wanted to bring to people's attention was Gannett's High School Sports Awards. And to me, that was just brilliant play for all of the 3 stakeholder groups involved. So for the newspapers, it's a great way to get their brand out there, possibly an opportunity to promote their subscription opportunities to the future generations, and indeed generate revenue from the sponsors. Great for the sponsors because collegiate sport in America is huge, probably a really important part of their business going forwards, identifying future talent, getting them signed up. And obviously for the attendees, it's a life-changing moment, opportunity to win an award, and again maybe an opportunity to interact with a traditional masthead brand they never would have done.